Over the past year and a half or so, we've done a number of book reviews on the subject of Indian Mahasiddhas. We did Holy Madness, which was an exhibition at the Rubin Museum back in, I think, 2005, 2006. We did Buddha's Lions, which is discussing Abhayakaragupta's system of 84 Mahasiddhas. Masters of Mahamudra is also Abhayakaragupta's system. Empowered Masters and Buddhist Masters of Enchantment. Buddhist Masters of Enchantment, I think, again, is Keith Dowman, and that's Abhayakaragupta. And Empowered Masters is by Ulrich von Schroeder. And he's really looking primarily at the 84 Mahasiddhas as they're presented at Gyantse. Gyantse, in the Magun, in the main temple, not the stupa. And that's a different system than is typical. The two main typical systems are the Abhayakaragupta and the Vajrasana. Then after that, we have, of course, Palde, the Sri Sena system out of Nepal. Then we have Gyantse, and then we have two or three systems possibly from the Ladakh area of Western Tibet. And then we have the unique Shalu Bhutan Tamche Khenpa system, of which we only have very few representations. But we do have a text by Bhutan. Now, there's another book that we didn't cover yet, and it's not... It's really a picture book. I can't recall if there was much commentary in it. I would have to try and locate it. I think I may have only had a photocopy. But it's block prints from Mongolia by Elise Egyed. Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. It's E-G-Y-E-D. And it was done out of Budapest in 1984. I'm not sure if that's a reprint or if that's the earliest date it was published. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at a publication that is giving you copies of these Mongolian block prints. Now, they're not all consistent, but for the most part, we have 3 Mahasiddhas, or 3 figures per page. And it is the Abhayakaragupta system. Now, Abhayakaragupta, this is also known in the West as the Abhayadatta. I think Buddha's Lions, when it was first translated into I think it was into the French, wasn't it? And then it was into English later. And it gives the author of that as Abhayadatta. Abhayadatta is just an alternate name for Abhayakaragupta. And how do we really know this? Well, we know this from very early texts, early Tibetan texts, where they have this this publication of the short biographies of the 84 Mahasiddhas, and sometimes it gives Abhayakaragupta, and sometimes it gives Abhayadatta, and then it gives the student's name after that, Mundrup Sherab, and so we know from that it's the same person being referenced. Now, what's interesting about this publication is really that it's just another variation on how the iconography of these particular siddhas might take form, might take shape, might be represented. And also we have the names plus some epithets, some words of honorifics underneath each of the figures, each of the 3 figures on each page of this Tibetan style folio text of the 84 Mahasiddhas. So it's useful, it's good to know about, but you don't have to run out and try and acquire it at a secondhand bookstore, because we have all of the images on the HAR website, and you can see them there, and you can read most of the inscriptions. Some are a little bit effaced due to printing problems and ink problems, but it's just good to know about what are the examples that we have in art to depict the 84 Mahasiddhas of either the Abhayakaragupta system or the Vajrasana system. These are really the only 2 where we have good iconographic references going back. Now, I can't really give you a date for this text. It's most likely going to be 19th century. Most Mongolian Buddhist material is 18th or 19th century. It's quite rare to have very much from the 17th century. So we'll leave it there. You can press the like button. You can subscribe. You can join Horror on Patreon. That's our paid platform, but you can also join without paying, and you can also receive videos. Some videos we do, and we don't have the payment for them. And so we have public, and then we have more private videos. The private videos on Patreon are usually longer, and they're more in detail, more in depth on certain subjects. And sometimes they're a little bit more to do with Buddhist abstractions that relate indirectly to art. And then you can also make a donation on the homepage of Himalayan Art Resources.